Thursday night, evening, and I'm here with Steve Lopes and Derek Invisible Consatio.
What's up? What's up?
He
I
made
went on. I went on a diet,
he
man.
made the
Trying to lose weight.
he made the bad mistake of wearing a green shirt on a green screen.
Yes, I did.
So he's looking rather invisible.
Cartoonish.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm on this great diet. You should try it.
Try it, diet, look
That,
invisible.
that Lions diet making winners disappear. Is that what it is?
You wasn't winning last year, right? That team gonna
We
disappear
won
this
more
year.
than the Lions.
Here we go
This
again.
year. You're gonna
We're
disappear
We're only
this
64 days away before I can remind Derek every week how bad his team is.
These guys are gonna start off with the same arguments. Pretty bad, pretty bad. Let's go in with the new stuff, okay? Let's go in with all the new stuff. Let's get rid of the old and start with the new. Last year doesn't make a difference. This year will trump everything. So you guys can talk smack once you guys stop playing one another. Otherwise,
That's not the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah. Week 15 and 17.
really?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy.
Wow.
Because we were looking at going to the games and we didn't want to go when it was cold. And I was like, well, Detroit and Minnesota are going to be cold.
My last 3 weeks: Minnesota, Dallas, Minnesota.
Wow.
Hope they're not on the fringe to get in the playoffs.
Wow.
That'll be easy. Easy work.
I know. Well, feel sorry for you, Steve.
Mm.
At any rate, we're going to talk about some free agency in the way of the NBA. Lots of money being slanged around.
Free agency and trades.
Ah,
Boy,
man.
everything's changing.
That's crazy. All the money that's thrown
The
around.
rookie
right now.
contracts.
I something,
207 million for the extensions.
there was a meme on yesterday. I seen it yesterday or the day before yesterday. With
Jordan's money.
yeah, did you see it?
He only made 30 million a year.
Well, no, total.
Total,
96.
A total, 96.
Well,
Yeah,
on the
90
court.
Yeah,
94, I think.
94 million.
Yeah,
and,
on the
and,
court.
and they were
And
showing
ball.
out the ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I don't understand it, but this is the world of the
Mega
NBA.
TV contracts and
But
marketing.
How about
Just-
how about the guy that got cut from a team, gets picked up by another team, and his contract's just as much as Jordan.
Yeah, well, this is the way of the NBA, and you know something, it's the way of all sports because we look at quarterbacks who got big contracts and they're not worth it. They're not worth it. No, may not seem as if they're worth it to you or to I, but to that team for the need, they're worth it. And then what you got to do is you got to look at the people behind them. So it makes all the world a difference. But this is the route in which we're going with free agency in basketball and football. We know baseball is already crazy.
Yeah,
That's
baseball's always been crazy.
baseball's they've got the most lucrative contracts. But this is the route that it's going, and it's only going to get worse or better for the players. I don't know how you want to say it, but the salaries are only going to go up, only going to go up. And yeah, we'll talk about those ballooned, inflated contracts. There's four rookie. Was it 4 or 3
Oh, there's more than that. It's like 4 or 5.
rookie extensions?
Yep. They all got 5 years,
Is
207
it
million.
4 or is it
There
4?
was I want to say 3 got 200. This is what I remember. 3 got over 220, and 1 got 204. That I remember off the top of my head.
But I mean, heck, it doesn't make a difference.
It's
What's
just
the
where
difference
they
between
are in their careers.
What's the
I'm
difference between 206 and 240? You know,
like 40 something million, and all it is a rookie extension. You haven't made. It's not like a supermax contract where you had to make a first team or second team.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk about some NFL news. Still some guys floating around out there.
All the running backs.
Still a lot of running backs.
These guys still out there.
Listen.
Former.
You don't think he can come back?
It's all in the way of running backs. It's incredible.
One wide receiver.
Yeah, one wide receiver, but for
That's
the
'cause
most
he's
part,
waiting.
yeah, he's gonna take top dollar.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's doing a tour of I want to win, because if that were the case, he wouldn't be talking to the Patriots.
Nope. He went to visit teams with the
Um,
most cap room.
yeah,
Or Tennessee,
yeah,
really.
yeah, no. You would think that if he wanted to win, he would be going to the Buffaloes. He would be
KC.
going to the
Kansas City,
KC,
yeah.
you know. But no, instead he's going to the teams that are like 2 levels below, and doing the tour for more along the lines of money, if you ask me. But it is what it is. And what else are we going to talk about?
Was a number of trades in the NBA.
Well, no, we already talked about. We already
oh.
said the NBA, NFL.
The Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney proposal. They offered Haney's people offered a 75-25% split of the purse, and Shakur felt like
That's a smack in the face.
yeah, but until you realize that's what Haney had to take to get the championship fight against Kambosos on the first fight. He got 23%. He said it's the opportunity. Once you win, you set the standard. So do we agree with that? Or, to me, Stevenson's more box office. You got to get more than 25. I could see doing 60, 65, 35 or something, but 25%.
Yeah, that's low. But the crazy part about it is, you think about it, right? Suppose he says no.
He did say no.
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying suppose it stays a no. Where do you go from there? Do you up the ante, or do you seek another opponent?
Well, the first thing he said was, I've already investigated what you've made your last 3 fights, and you can combine those together, and it doesn't equal the 25% you're going to get for this fight. So you're telling me it's not enough money, but yet you've never made this much money?
You could look at it from that point of view, but you can also look at it from the point of view of, am I the best possible opponent out there?
Well, if he wants an undisputed title, because he'll be undisputed
There you
champion
go.
with 1 win, then he can set the standard.
Yeah,
and I
'cause
like that Haney said that, because he had to take those standards just to prove he was better than Kambosos. And there was a rematch clause, but that was a whole different negotiation.
Yeah. So the way I see it is, as any good car salesman, somebody who is, I'd say, trying to haggle is, you go low and you work your way up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So this sounds like one of those tactics, going out and looking for a car. If the car is at 10, you're going to start at like 7.5, and then see where they come, and then till you meet at a happy medium, right? Maybe they went into it saying, all right, 75-25, that's a low ball. Maybe they're looking for 65-35. It would still be a win.
That's more.
Yeah, that's more
That's more logical. Than
yeah,
75-25.
75-25.
Especially-
Is he 4 times better?
He's the bigger name.
He's the bigger name, but I'm saying, is he 4 times
No,
better?
but I'm saying Shakur is the bigger name.
Yeah. And
So,
But he hasn't
People-
made that type of money yet.
people are gonna pay this. More people will pay to see Shakur.
Exactly.
Than they will Haney.
Yep.
but what if this fight falls through the cracks? What is there behind it?
Tank. And he
That
don't
it's
want-
not guaranteed
and
though.
But he don't want Tank.
Yeah. But listen, if you're gonna handpick your opponent, you're gonna handpick, how much they make, and someone says no, that drops through. Guess what? So we do know that if he goes against Tank, it's not going to be 75-25. So guess who's losing there? So ultimately, guess
It's
who's
just
losing
like
there?
what Canelo does all the time. And people are more than happy to fight Canelo, because that 25% still represents way more than what you're used to getting. So get out of the next person's pockets. He's the champion. He gets to dictate that.
But Canelo, his name speaks for itself. He has people that he's the cash cow of boxing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it does talk. It does speak for itself as far as the draw, but is he really that much? I look at it from this point of view. If that fight falls through the cracks and you have to go sideways, you're not going to make that amount of money
No.
with your next opponent.
Neither fighter will.
Yeah.
Well,
It would be
depends.
it would be it would be in the
Well, Haney does.
45,
Yeah,
55.
Haney doesn't want to fight Davis right now.
I know that.
Yeah, so that's the only other super fight I can see commanding the same or better money.
But
Stevenson's
it,
the next highest grossing fight I think he can get that
if
he can
it,
make.
but if he doesn't want to fight him, but that's your alternative, and your alternative isn't going to be 75-25
Well,
by
what
no
did you
stretch
just
of
say about
imagination.
the car salesman thing?
Yeah,
It's going to end up 70-30 or 65-35 at best. And he's
it,
going to have to take it because it's still the best payday. And like we say, if he wins, that's it. Now you're the champion. Hey, if there's an automatic rematch clause,
Of course, there's
then
gonna be.
whoever's the champion is going to get the majority of the money. I'll give you that rematch, but this time I'm getting 65 and you're getting 35.
yeah, I mean it's different. It's one of those things where you got to look at it, and you got to try to, like, it's got to be a balance.
Yep.
There's got to be a balance, and you got to look at it from the perspective too that if it doesn't fall through, what are your options? Will your options be, will they be, you're going to drop significantly in the amount of money you're not getting
And you're
75.
taking a risk you don't have to take. What if you lose? Now you never get to that big fight.
Exactly. Now, so but this is the thing with all the fighters. I get it that you're a champ and you want to be able to lay down the groundwork for who you're going to fight and how much you're going to make, but at some point reality's got to, it's got to step in, and you got to be, you got to come to grips with it. I don't know. I don't know. um we're seeing that, with other fighters, um in the other division, there they finally came to the realization that you need them to make the money. You can't just keep going sideways and expect to make that big payday. If you're gonna if you're gonna go forward and you're gonna move forward, eventually you have to go straight, and you have to meet somebody head to head.
You got to get straight to the point.
That's right.
So, Decon, if that fight doesn't materialize, where does Haney go to get another substantial fight like that?
I think he goes 140.
Who's getting that type of money against him at 140?
Maybe the kid that just fought the other day, Lopez.
He's supposedly retired,
But
even though it's a.
he said he wants to fight for what, 9 digits or something like that.
He wants a 3-year, $100 million contract,
so-
which is what Canelo just got.
Yeah.
They're not Canelo.
No, but he'd get close to that if he fights this kid. Maybe, but I don't.
He
he's
should
not
take
gonna,
a 3-year, $75 million
He's not
contract.
He's not gonna stay in the 135s because in my opinion, he don't want to see Tank.
Right. We know he doesn't want him yet.
Yeah. Listen, it's all going to come down to, the negotiating table, when one guy, when the lesser guy turns his back. Now you got to reevaluate and say, okay, maybe I might have to raise the standards a little bit, and what he's getting in the way of pay. Um, it's just one of those things. I firmly believe that it's, you go in lowballing the guy and see what he says. Apparently, right off the rip, he's saying to himself, no, I'm not taking that. Even though I haven't seen that payday, um, I'm just not going to stay. I'm just not going to stand for it.
That's kind of a smack in the face.
It is a smack in the face.
75, 25.
It is. It is a
Well,
smack in the face.
because he did it, he feels like if I can do it, so can somebody else. It's one fight. It's still the biggest paycheck you're going to get. And it's one fight. Prove yourself,
But it's not,
and then you start dictating the prices. So, Derek, if you walked in tomorrow and your job was paying you $50 an hour, and they said, okay, this next job's $75 an hour, but they just gave somebody else, $100 an hour, you're going to turn it down because it's still more money than you've made.
Yeah, but I just think that's a smack in the face.
In the long run, yeah.
You go 60-40. That's still, you're still making a substantial amount of money.
I would like to see it at 60-40, and if there's a rematch clause, the purse is reversed. Whoever's the champion gets, that has to be in the rematch clause for me if I'm either fighter.
That's 75-25. That's
He just thinks he's up there with Canelo. Canelo's the only one giving out those type of purses, and everybody's more than happy to get that 25 because of how much money Canelo generates. Haney is not generating the type of views that Canelo is, so you can't dictate that because
Haney.
25% of 100 million is a lot more than 25% of 100,000.
Yeah. Haney's not even getting the same views
As
Shakur.
Stevenson, yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, well,
That's
everyone thinks they're entitled to something.
oh, without a doubt. Especially
So
being a champion, you're entitled to something.
And you never know what's going to come up because if you just saw what happened today with Virgil Ortiz, he had to cancel his third attempt to fight the same guy. And Virgil Ortiz is the champion. He's up and coming. He's looking really good. He had a fainting spell. His health is not there. He's had to cancel the same fight 3 times in a row with the same person through no fault of his own. It's just his body's not holding up. I mean, I don't think he's afraid to fight this guy. I just feel like, for whatever reason, the training's taking its toll on him, and he hasn't been able to make it all the way to fight. He was supposed to fight this Saturday, and he made it till today, and they pulled the plug. And I saw the announcement, and I was like, wow, that's frustrating.
Especially training hard out of months.
Yep.
all right, we can switch on over to the NBA free agency. So many players have gotten to that extension, that rookie extension, and we look at it and immediately, the comparisons are made as we were talking about Jordan, what he made for career earnings during the course of his career, and you look at it and you say, "Wow, my God!" But we're literally talking 25 years later. You know, um, times have changed. Obviously, the prices of the tickets have gone up
Yeah.
substantially. The revenue that is made through the TV contracts and all that stuff has gone up. So with that, the salaries obviously have gone up. But you can't deny that it seems like a lot of money. It is a lot of money, and immediately some of these guys, I don't think they're as I should say as polished as you look at some guys like I say like a Joker, like guys that are going past their fourth or fifth years. It doesn't seem right. Um, the amount of money that's being thrown at them, it's because of one or two reasons. It's because either they're desperate, they want to keep that player, so they're overpaying, or they're trying to set the market or something along the way or something. I don't know. I don't know.
That's nuts.
Well, look at the post that you posted about Fred VanVleet makes more than the following people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because I'm looking at the names on this list and I say, who is he better than? Fred VanVleet right now, 42 million, 42.8. He makes more than Kyrie, AD, Klay Thompson, Jason Tatum, and Devin Booker. It's just timing because those guys will eventually get bigger contracts.
Yeah. Well. So we know Tatum is he'll blow his contract away
Supermax,
next
yeah.
year with the Supermax. Kyrie is in a different position because of what he's done off the court. He's in
Clay's coming back from
Clay's
major
coming.
injury.
Yes, Clay's coming back from it.
And AD's always injured.
Yes, AD's in, and LeBron obviously only plays on one. He after this year, he's only going to play on basically a 1 year deal because it's a 2 year deal with with the second year being a player option, which is smart. He's setting himself up obviously to hopefully play with his son, which I mean, I look at his son, and I don't see an NBA player.
Not one and done anyway.
No, not even close.
Mm.
The funny part about it was, going into his senior year, I believe he was ranked in the 30s.
Yeah, he made a jump.
He was like
at the end, but he
34.
was-
I think it was like 34, 36.
Yeah,
he was like
and
the number
then
6 shooting guard or something.
yeah, but this is the thing.
Now, was he number
I-
6 because of his
His
father?
his
or
name.
or was
He's
number 6
because of his
he was
name.
killing people?
He wasn't killing
He was
anyone.
the third best player on his own team.
Exactly. It almost turns into one of those things where you could watch what LeVar Ball did for his kids.
Yep.
He went on TV and was like, you listen, draft all 3 of my kids right now, and you're assured a championship. Da 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 da. Da. And if you remember, when what's your guy's name? I get them mixed up. The one that
LaMelo.
plays for
Lamel,
no, the one that plays for the Bulls.
Lamel, no.
D'Angelo.
No, Leandro's the other one that didn't make the NBA. Is Lamelo, Leangelo. I'm forgetting the name. He's on your team.
I know. I'm having a brain fart right now.
At any rate, when he was coming out of college, he, it was a lot of the ball hype, and if I remember correctly,
He was actually really good.
well, you got to remember in a tournament he got his butt handed to him. All right, I forget who the player was. I remember the meme because they had the dad saying that my son got to go number one, da 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 da, and the meme. It was the meme where the guy came on and says, "So if you only score 8 points in the second round of the in the NCAAs, and I drop 24 on you, where should I go in the draft?" But this is what we're talking about. I think it's a lot of sales pitch with. Well, you don't even have to have a sales pitch. I think there'll be a team that'll take a chance to say, okay, we'll draft him because it's almost a foregone conclusion that LeBron's going to go there, and that's going to put asses in the seats. Even if LeBron has
LeBron
got,
would be like 42.
even if he's got a walker, you know what I'm saying? People are going to want to come to see he has that draw, and I think that's what you're going to see. But is Bronny? I think his brother right now is better than him.
Yeah. He's got more size too.
He's got more size. He's definitely got more skill.
He can shoot better.
Yes, he can shoot. He's got size. He's able to handle the ball, and when you look at it, it's like, okay, how are you going to, you know, how are you going to handle this moving forward? Now, is he? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Alonzo.
Alonzo, yeah,
Alonzo.
yeah. It's all else. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bronny is going where?
USC.
USC. He's staying obviously in California. USC. I don't know what they have in the way of guards.
Well, they got one of the top point guards going there too, so that backcourt will be set.
Well,
Number one guard in the nation went to USC.
Well, what I'd like to know is who is there currently.
They lost their big men because it was the guy from Cleveland's twin brother Mobley. He left for the NBA, and somebody else left. So
I'm just trying to think of
all new people are going to be there, all new recruits and transfers.
Well, we'll see. Do I think he's going to be a one and done? I don't see it.
I don't see it. He wasn't that special in high school. How's he going to go and be a freshman in college and be special?
I don't see the unless he makes a super tremendous leap moving forward. I really don't see it. I don't see him, one and done. I think he's more along the lines of 2-3 years. He's not growing anymore. He's not.
And what's he like, 6'3"?
Yeah, 6'6". It's a barely 6'3". So that makes it especially tough. I mean, you could see he's filled out in his body frame. But if you're 6'3" and your body frame is good, that's not doing you any good. If you're 6'7", 6'8", and you turn out to be sort of like your dad, then that's a different story.
His brother. Actually,
Yeah,
his
his
brother.
yeah, his brother's got
More
the
of a man
size.
sized body
He's
now.
about 6'6", 6'7" right now.
Yeah. So
He's only a sophomore.
it's going to it's going to be very interesting in the next 2 years. I won't say 1 year because, like we said, I don't 1 year, one and done. No, I don't believe that's going to be the case. Um, but getting back to the original point, somebody's going to pay. Somebody's going to overpay or overdraft because of the fact that they know that they got that tie with them. And if you're a basketball head looking at it right now, you're looking at LeBron and he's having a hard time winning with talent and with talented people. It's going to take a super I wouldn't say superhuman, but it's going to take an injury-free season between him and the AD.
Good luck with that.
Exactly. To literally get where they need to be. They can't afford to do what they did last year. Play, go from near playing, and think that they're going to beat teams. It's just not going to happen that way again. You're not sneaking up on anyone this year. I think towards the end of the season they made a push. They snuck up on people, and that was good. But the you know the big question that remains is, can both of them stay healthy?
Did they keep the white dude?
They kept all their free agents.
Okay.
They kept all their free agents, and they signed more. They
That was-
actually were the winners of the draft.
That was big.
Excuse me, of free agents.
They only lost Mo Bamba, who was expendable compared to what they kept.
Yeah,
I was surprised with the Russell.
Yeah, they resigned, but way at a minimum. He was looking for I want to say like between close to $20 million, and he didn't get that. So it's basically he's basically saying, well, I'll take less to stay on this team because I believe. But listen, if you played the way he played at the end of the year, he couldn't throw the ball in the water. It was horrible. But as far as free agency, as far as that goes, they to me they definitely were the winners of free agency. They kept, most importantly, you want to keep yours. You don't want to lose yours. They kept all three of their guys. It was Hachimura, Reeves, and
Russell.
Russell. They kept all three of those guys, and they also got the kid from Miami,
Vincent.
Gabe Vincent. They got him.
Where did
They
Strauss
got
go?
somebody else. Strauss went to Cleveland.
Cleveland, yes.
Okay.
He got a 4-year deal. I want to say. He got a 4-year deal. It's right here. Free agents agreed a 4-year, $63 million with the Cavs.
The Lakers also got Jackson Hayes.
Yes, they got Jackson.
That's why Mo Bamba was expendable.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things that and moving forward, they just need to remain healthy, and it's something that they haven't done. It's
That added depth. It's a little easier.
well, it's easier, but
We need the big dudes to stay healthy.
yeah, those guys are good Robins, but you make them Batman, and that's just
Ain't
not
gonna
going to be
work.
the case.
Not gonna work.
And you can't have it the way they had it last year with one in, one out, one in, one out, and then all of a sudden both of them out at one point. You
Yeah.
can't have it. You can't have
They're
it.
lucky to stay in contention.
Yeah, they were. Well, what happened was the second part of the season, they made a push. They put them.
What's his face? There?
They put them in at the trade deadline. They they got Hachimura. What's the other guy there that they got?
The 3D guy.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves.
Yeah, they got him. They got those guys really helped.
And Malik Beasley,
Yes.
who they lost. They
Yes.
lost him. He went to Milwaukee.
Yeah, well, you know something, he
Yes.
wasn't as
Added depth.
needed as the other two were. I can't even say the third, but as the other two were those two right there. Hachimura at one point, Hachimura was the leading scorer in the playoffs. So that goes to show you a lot right there. Um, they wanted
With
to
the other
keep
two
him.
healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With the other two healthy, and so that goes to show you a lot right there. So they're trending in the right direction. You want to say that. Um, so we need to talk about the Fred VanVleet deal.
Mhm.
Um,
It's an excellent situation. I just
For
don't know
him-
for that much money.
for,
I like his fit there too.
listen, 3 years, 130
It's 42 million. Yeah, 42 and a half.
for a 6-foot guy.
Stabilizes
Who comes
that
with-
offense with young talent.
Comes with a lot of experience.
I get all that, but
Got
if
a
you're
championship trophy
It-
under his belt,
listen, that sounds really, really good, but it's what are you going to do for me? All that stuff that you have in your past is good for your resume, but are you going to bring that with you and help them
I'm
win?
going to tell you that I am. But if I do it, who knows? But I'm telling you, I am. So
I would
give me
not
my money.
I would not give a 6-foot guard that struggles to shoot a little better than 30% from three, $42 million.
But averages 20 something a game.
Yeah, because that was
And he had all pros like Siakam on his team. And he
well,
had,
no, you got to remember it was just in him and Siakam. The last 2
OG.
years. Yeah, something. It was just pretty much him and Siakam. I mean, he had the green light to shoot whenever he wanted to. As soon as Kawhi left,
Well, he started playing better than Lowry, which is what made Lowry expendable.
Yep.
well,
They had
well,
Lowry and Corey Joseph.
well, you
over
got
there.
to remember too the age gap. You got one that was 36 or 37 at the time, and the other one only had four less than 4 years in, or 5 years or whatever it was. But it's for me, I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I know they had a ton of money
He
to
went
spend.
to that team that had to spend some money.
Yeah, but I would have thrown money. I would have thrown
What?
it at a
One?
3-and-D guy.
But
They
look,
had it to spend.
But look. Also, I'm sorry. I mean, guys, I'm sorry.
No, I just say one, they had it to spend, and two, I think he's in a different role. He doesn't have to be the scorer. He just has to solidify the offense and develop those younger guys. Get all that young talent, get them the ball, get their confidence up. He just has to be a steadying pace. That's what they paid him for.
So
didn't
I'm-
that same team sign another guy?
Yes, they did. They signed a lot. Listen, they had the most money in free agency.
Oh, I know.
Them in San Antonio.
All right, so they had it, and they didn't spare any money. But
they just do that.
As a
anyway.
general manager, I'm going to ask you two guys: would you pay? If you were spending, would you give him $42 million from your point of view?
Mr. Van Fleet, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Would
Not
you,
42
Steve?
million a year.
42 million?
Seems like a lot.
Seems.
see.
But no,
What do
it
you
seems
mean?
like a lot, but you got to look at the
Seems.
going rate of what people are
No,
getting paid right now.
no.
What was their other option? To keep Kevin Porter as the point guard, who did all right.
Well, I think you could have got it for a lot less than 42 million.
I don't know.
And
They must
there
have
ain't
some
nobody else
feelers
out there. There ain't
Listen.
nobody else out there giving him 42
Listen,
million.
you
San
listen.
Antonio might
I
have.
would have. Given. I honestly, if you want to look at the numbers perspective and who's going to give you more, not just in the way of points, but more in the way of rebounds, assists, and points.
Mr.
I would have
Harden.
gave. Well, he would have been one, but I would have give. I would literally go out and give somebody like Russell Westbrook, maybe like.
They stunt the development of the younger players.
I get that, but
That's
listen,
not what they want to do.
I'm not giving Fred VanVleet $42 million.
You're giving him that money. You overpaid, but he's a better fit to develop the talent you have. That's the goal. If you bring in Harden or one of those other ball dominant guys, they're going to defer it. They're going to stand around and watch him. You slow down development for a whole year.
So let me just say this, okay?
So they did
Those-
draft Amen Thompson, who's supposed to be a 6'7" point guard.
So that 3-year $130 million is gonna live and die with him, because number one, you're not going to find anybody that's going to take on that contract. That
Is it all
contract.
3 guaranteed, or is it 2 with the
Yes.
option for 3?
No, it's 3 years. That is he's going to die with that contract. Um, Even on an expiring year, I wouldn't take 42 million for him. There would be no way. I
Well, for
just wouldn't
1
be able
year,
to do it.
somebody might, because they've done it with other people just
I,
to say, "Look how much I'm clearing off the books in 1 year."
yeah, but the thing is, the thing is, you know, you got to look at it at what is he going to give you? 42 million. I could take 42 million from even a Kyrie, a James Harden, um, guys who are prolific scorers. He's not a prolific scorer. He's not a prolific scorer. He's a nice piece to somebody else who scores, and that's my main gripe with him.
So basically, you're paying a Robin 42 million because he's not a Batman.
Yeah,
That's what Middleton
that's what it
makes.
is. That's what it. But there's a difference. There's a different. So let's say
Middleton's been a proven all-star.
let's just put it this way. If you were to if you were to remove Middleton and you were to remove Van Fleet, what would those two teams look like?
Well, we already saw what happened with Milwaukee 2
Okay,
years in a row.
all right. Now you remove Van Fleet at this time, and
But we don't know how he's going to fit in how much is he going to improve the Rockets? Is he going to make that big of a difference? I think they go from last place to middle of the pack, like just on the outside of the playoffs looking in.
But that's not just because of him, though. That's because of what they've
No,
That's-
but
that's because of what they've done.
without stability at the point guard mixed in, because I think he's there just to develop Amen Thompson.
But for 42 million to develop
yeah,
him,
I don't.
He's going to show him the ropes, which veteran leadership. That's the mistake they had in Memphis with John Morant. They didn't have no veterans to show these young guys how to be pros, how to carry themselves in the NBA.
I got Guns N' Roses.
If there was somebody on Memphis like Marcus Smart when Morant first came, I guarantee things would have went different.
I don't know.
It's more than just what he brings on the court.
Listen, they got Boban there. Maybe he could have helped them out. Some commercials and stuff like that. But no, I have a hard time. 42 million, man. It's
I
a
have a
lot
hard
of money.
time with a lot of these contracts. All those rookie extensions, I had a hard time with.
But the thing with the rookie extensions, you're actually going to save money. You think about it, right? And just think about it in 2 years, right? In 2 years, ultimately, because you're getting a year, you're getting a bonus year with the extension because they lump it on. In 2 years, the salaries will probably. I mean, look what they're getting now, right? What did you say? 240 something
220
or 220 something?
220.
You look at that, right? In 2 years, the salaries will probably go up another $5 million, $5 to $7 million, I would guess. But so when you actually sign the extension, you're getting a year, and that's why they do that. But it's just it's weird all the way around, and I don't know. I'm just not used to seeing money fly like that. Um, So who was the other guy? Okay, so it was
The guy that-
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, he signed for 220.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 5 years extension that could be worth up to 260. Could be up to it could go up to 260 with incentives in his contract.
Wow.
This is a guy who obviously I can't say that I have a problem because he's showing
He's
that
improved every year.
yes. When you get guys that go up the ladder incrementally and their points per go up and continue to go up, and you see the development in them,
And he's been on different teams 3 years in a
yes.
row because he's a trade commodity.
But
But he's-
not anymore.
No, he's locked up now.
Yeah.
So the thing moving forward for him obviously is locked in, and they're gonna build. They're gonna continue to build around. I don't have a problem with his contract at all. I can honestly say I don't have a problem with LaMelo's contract either.
Yeah.
What's
I-
a bonus?
oh, no,
Bonus was
No.
Oh.
they had to do that in Sacramento.
Yeah. I don't have, like I said, I don't have a problem with Lamelo's because every year he's gone up as well too. I mean, he's a baller.
He plays, man. He makes the people around him better.
But the thing with him that's good is he's a scorer, but he's a great passer. He plays defense too.
That growth spurt helped him a lot because he's 6'7" now at the point. Oh
Wow.
man,
Long. His wingspan is ridiculous.
Desmond Bain.
Let's talk. I thought that was a good sign.
Desmond.
he's very underestimated.
Well, listen.
He
So
does it all. too.
so the thing with Desmond Bain is, if you keep Bain, you're going to keep your backcourt intact, and that's what they're looking at. They're looking for, these guys have actually grown together. They played together, sort of like the two Jays in Boston. Drafted right after one another, and it's just you're not going to get any chemistry
That's
unless
the
you
core.
keep guys. Yeah, exactly.
Like
You-
Jackson.
So if you look around the NBA, it's no secret. The chemistry is you want to try to keep three players. Okay, you want to try to keep three players, and so we know who the three players are on that team, right? It's obviously Bain, Ja, and Jackson.
Jaren Jackson. Yeah.
Those are their three, and that's
Now
what
you add Smart,
you add Smart.
and they got some nice rookies in the draft. So I was like, they're on the rise.
Yeah, no,
and they picked up another guy that tried to leave Smart and Mr. Rose.
Who?
Derrick Rose.
When was the last time he played?
You
He
said
wasn't as smart of a move.
You're saying you're looking for leadership, right?
Yeah, which Smart provides.
But I'm saying that now they have two guys.
Yeah, grandfather and daddy.
It says it. Grizzlies want Rose on the floor this season, and as a leader in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious.
All to protect Mr. Morant.
Obvious, yeah. It's just, but he's at a minimum though.
Yeah,
So it's
In
it's at
case
a
he
minimum.
has a personality conflict with Smart, we don't know what their relationship's going to be. But now you got two options. If you don't get along with Smart, you got Rose. But if you get along with both,
If he doesn't
they
get along
both
with
bring
Smart, he's
something
probably going to
different.
get beat up.
yeah, yeah, 'cause he's a little light in the ass to be messing with
Smart
Smart.
will probably beat him up.
That's where you get the Guns N' Roses. You seen that Guns N' Roses
Yeah.
thing?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I mean, like I said, there's no secret. You typically try to get three players on a team, and that's your core. You build around, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're gonna do. Who else do we have at a max? Oh yeah, so
Talk about the other guy that signed with Houston.
Who was the other guy? I can't
The guy
remember.
that got cut from Memphis.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, and he got $20 million a year.
Yeah.
4
Dylan
years,
Brooks.
80.
Yeah.
4 years, 80
4
million.
years, 80 million. Yeah,
That's crazy.
You know something?
a role player, somebody tough. They
Listen.
needed, he'll play under Ime though. I bet you Ime controls him.
Because
Somebody's gonna have to control him.
Ime
will.
is an in-your-face coach.
Yep.
Um,
That was probably made clear before they signed him.
as far as a lot of people were like, "Oh, he's gonna lose money. He's gonna lose." He didn't lose a damn thing.
He gained money.
Yes.
Somebody's trash is somebody else's.
He didn't.
money.
He didn't lose a damn thing.
Just for talking shit about LeBron.
He didn't. He didn't lose any money.
He was the scapegoat in Memphis.
Yes, he was. He
Very
was.
easy to pin it on him.
Yeah. And it's
And-
crazy, right? Because you think of the situation, right? How many players are going to have the mental fortitude, the mental toughness to try to do what he did?
Not too many.
Not many, right?
Not too many.
I commend him just for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Although it didn't work.
He tried to be the Dennis Rodman of the
Yeah. Although it didn't
He
work,
forced it. Yeah.
it didn't work, but it did work because he's still making $20 million a year. Everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna be, he's done. He's out." I'm like, "No, he's not. No, he's not." Listen. I'll tell you what. I'll take a player who did what he did because you know what? He has confidence. He has confidence in himself. I'd rather take the guy that would make the attempt than the guy who's scared to make the attempt. I'd much rather do that because that guy's not scared. He's going to go to war. no matter what. And that's what he did. And with all the, all the smoke that was around him, he rose above it and got paid $20 million a year. There's not much you can say, but I would definitely take a guy like that any day of the week. Any day of the week. So remember when we were talking about Miami and we were saying how they were going to get ripped apart? They're like, oh, they got all these guys that are undrafted and are not making any money. Not anymore. All right. So Max Strauss, 4 years, $63 million.
Only the forward's still there.
All right, with Cleveland. All
Mhm.
right. And what was the other guy's name? The guy.
Vincent.
Gabe
Yes,
Vincent.
Gabe Vincent.
The only one they kept was Caleb Martin.
Yeah. And
Even Oladipo's gone.
yes, Oladipo, yes, he signed with.
I didn't think he was going to sign back with them after he got hurt. Anyways,
Who did he sign with?
Well, they said that
Oladipo's-
him and Butler clashed.
yeah.
Yeah, Butler clashes with a lot of people. Oklahoma City, he signed with.
He went
Which
back
he was
to
already
OKC?
there.
Yes.
Yeah. He actually
Um,
played well over there.
Yes. He was virtue of a trade actually acquiring Victor Oladipo and a draft compensation to absorb his $9.5 million expiring contract. So they took on his salary. Who else? Who else was interesting?
What was Sabonis' numbers? I thought he's the one that got the bigger contract out of everybody. He's the one that got the 260 potential. Everybody else was like 217 or under.
I thought you can't go over 260. That's the max. They're all at 260.
I could have sworn they were all at 207 or
I thought-
217.
I thought they were at 220 because
No,
the other one was at 206.
no, Halliburton's
else
at
was-
260. I'm looking at it right now, and so isn't LaMelo Ball. An extension that could be worth 260. So that's where they max out at 260.
But they
right there.
signed for 220. But with the
with
the
incentives.
it can go
Yes,
to
they can't max out at 260.
$40 million.
Who else?
Well, I know the kid in Grant in Portland, I didn't think he was going to stay there. They paid him, but I don't think he got quite the same money. But for him to stay in Portland, and then they matched the contract tender for Matthias Thibault today,
Yes,
which,
Portland.
yeah, surprised me because somebody else was trying to get him.
Okay, so
Dallas.
here's Sabonis's details. Contract renegotiating an extension for a total of 217 over 5 years, included 195 in new money. So they renegotiated his contract. So his is a little different. 217. I'm sure he has incentives as well, but it's a renegotiation extension, not just a straight extension.
Yeah, we talked about Van Fleet's contract too. Yeah, that definitely was crazy.
Didn't Dallas just sign somebody major the other day? I know they tried to get Thibault, but I thought they got somebody else. Unless that's what I was thinking of, but then Portland matched it.
Is that where Grant went from Boston on that trade?
Oh, yeah. Grant Williams went there.
That was a
They
three-way.
tried to get both of them.
That was a three-way deal.
Yeah. The Celtics got a bunch of picks.
Two
second
second
rounds.
rounders. All right, so Anthony Edwards, 5 years, same thing, 260.
Mhm. Either him or Sabonis was the best deal out of that because they got the most potential.
I don't have a problem with him either. He is an up and coming superstar. Once again, as the years go on, so don't his numbers go up. So I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, Edwards is a beast, man. He's a beast.
So let's talk about Damian Lillard.
Dang.
And what his
So-
agent just
so-
said today.
So Damian Lillard was the poster boy for I'm not leaving to join the super
Yep.
team. Why can't we win here in Portland?
Him and Paul George going at it. Paul just shot some daggers
Oh
at
yeah,
him.
well yeah, because listen, you know, social media is very unforgiving.
Saved
You
his
know,
receipts.
yeah, you save receipts. Those guys got a history anyway.
Didn't he shoot at KD when KD left to Golden State?
I don't know. There's a lot of people.
I'm pretty sure he was one of them. But
Well, he definitely was a strong advocate for staying
Yeah,
and being loyal to your team.
So this is the guy that says, "I'm not going to play for a super team. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to win here." Then suddenly, he's got the itch
But
to
it's
leave.
11 years later. You know, like
And you know what? I think
you've been
maybe
nothing but loyal,
5 years too late.
like a Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett says if he would have known, he would have freaking left 5 years earlier.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? You know, he stayed loyal. Now the team isn't, you know, as willing to send him to where he wants to go, which is Miami. They're like, listen, we're not going to send you to Miami because you want to go to Miami. We're going to send you where we can get the best deal for you.
Now they're not looking out for Dame; they're looking out for
that's
themselves.
looking like Boston. Right now.
And then, right? And then, so what ends up happening, right? Now he's at their mercy because he just signed a contract.
And there's no trade. He has no trade clause. Nothing in this.
Yeah. So now he's at their mercy, and you see how the rules flip, and how one, you know, isn't as loyal as you thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, I want to leave, and they're just like, no, no, we're not doing it. It's just to the point where there's no loyalty in sports, and he tried to hold that as one of them, like I've done something.
Yeah.
You know what you haven't done? You haven't won a championship. You haven't won a championship, and that's just what they're saying. Yeah, certainly.
They never complained.
Certainly, you've been a great player. You've been the model player, the model this, the model that.
Championship,
but you haven't. Listen, royalty is championship, right? And you haven't done that.
You haven't even been the best player in the league.
Listen, it goes to show you, right? You try to hold them to the same standards that you had, and it went south. Now he's stuck at their mercy, and it doesn't sound as if they're in any rush to get rid of him.
But now I'll go over the comment his agent made today. He sent out a warning to all the teams interested in trading for Dame Lillard. Don't trade for a disgruntled player.
He said it'll sit out.
They just said you don't know what you're going to get. You know, like he's going to be disgruntled. Now, if you want a disgruntled player on your team who's going to be, I can't see Dame being bad for team chemistry, but he's not going to give his all. His heart's not going to be in it.
But they say like what's his Big Perk was talking about how Dame and Tatum got a really good relationship.
They do, but they still came out saying trade me to Miami.
No,
or
I
don't
know.
trade me at all. So that might not still make him happy. Just like Philadelphia said they want him, but they don't want to put Maxey in the deal.
So I don't know who this is. It says Facebook.
I'm pretty
saying
sure it's
you'll
our
be
boy down
Mags.
in Texas.
The NBA office will help facilitate that trade for Dame to get to Miami or Philly. The NBA office, you know, you're saying that they will help. You can't help. The only thing that the NBA office has done is block trades. You can't help because that's favoritism, and you know it's conflict of interest.
Even blocking trades is kind of crazy.
Well, you got to look at it from the point of view as if there's certain things that are going on.
Like that Chris Paul
CP3, yeah,
that was kind of nuts.
But yeah, I do not believe that the office is going to help. It's up to the organizations, strictly for the organizations to make or present the right situation for him to move. As Portland said, they're not, they're going to hold strong. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen
He'll sit out.
is he'll sit out. Yeah, and like, who are you really hurting at this point?
With the money you're making, that's why he signed that extension.
Yeah.
They bought him. When he signed that extension, that last one, he pretty much, and without the trade clause,
He's getting $60 million a year.
Well, I just like I said, I don't foresee it happening. Um, I would say that the best place for him to go is probably Philly. Um, I know you said the thing about Boston, but I firmly don't believe that he has Boston you know with all the with all the racial undertones that
Yeah.
go on. There's not too many people. Listen, if you're not drafted by Boston, you typically don't go to Boston. You have to learn to love the city because of the stigma that comes with Boston. Um, and it's crazy because he would be a perfect fit for Boston because Portland is kind of the Boston of the East. It's small, not as great as far as a destination to go because it's cold. Um, but they would anybody knows true Boston fans, they'll embrace you. But unfortunately, they got that stigma, and I don't think that that's one of his places of destination. Um, but yeah, all right. So what are they saying? The league owners don't really give a damn as long as that reimbursed sharing money don't change. It's true, but something. Um, there are uh, there are bells and whistles that go along with the reimbursement money.
Yeah,
Um,
revenue.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
the league revenue money. I get what he's trying to say with the revenue, but at the same point in time, right? Um, it's almost typically the way that all the leagues are set up is that the lower teams, the struggling teams, the smaller market teams tend to get pushed a little more money. Obviously the drafts and stuff like that. But you can't continue to lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose, um, because ultimately your ticket sales, need to help you at some point, if you want to make money. So, um, what is he saying? I'm glad Grant Williams 6 points, rebounds, and one assist is going to Dallas.
Uh-huh.
Well, something. He's. I think in the right situation, I think he could flourish. Um, is he going to be a superstar? No, but I think he's a blue collar worker, and I think he just
adds
got.
defense to a
I,
team that has none.
yeah, I just think he got caught in the wrong situation. I think under Ime, I think he was one of Ime's guys. I don't think that the current coach here, he was in his doghouse from the rip.
Yeah.
From the rip, he was in the doghouse. His whole role changed. You went from a guy, um, who was pretty much the sixth, seventh man off the bench
6 or 7. Yeah.
to getting DNPs, and we're talking about in the playoffs. Um, if you remember when Ime was there, who did he count on to come in and give them a spark? Who did he beat? Who did he
I know
kill?
who he did
Who did he
against
kill?
us.
Who did he kill in Game 7? Um, but no, you could see right away that his role changed, and it was no secret that he was in the doghouse. But I think in Dallas, I firmly believe that he'll bring toughness there. Like as Steve said, defense. He'll bring a defensive sense of
Presence.
mind, and I think with more time, I think he'll play better. The 6 points I think doesn't say a lot. Here's another guy, one that poked the bear, and it didn't turn out too well for him.
Yep.
I was joking on my morning show that that he was invited to that the all white party, and I said he was someone's and one because I don't the list of superstars that were there, he did not fit in. He did not fit in. He was rubbing shoulders with with Tom Brady, we're talking about all number ones in every sport, and then you have Grant Williams. It's like, where did he come from? Check his ID, somebody, please.
Yeah.
But I firmly think that he'll do a lot better in Dallas. He'll get more playing time, and I think the 6 points turn into double digits. I think
He's
6 points.
capable.
Yeah, the six.
The kid's got a high shooting percentage.
I think the 6 will turn into 10, 11 points, and he'll be a more valued scorer in Dallas. And you know something about him too is he's very underrated as far as a defensive player.
He's good on defense.
Well, this is the thing, right? So we talk about defense, right? So the Celtics traded Marcus Smart away. Now they traded Grant Williams away. Two of the three of the defensive players gone. So now who are they going to have playing Giannis? Because Grant Williams was always playing on him because he had a strong enough base to not let him get around him to get muscled. Albeit when he got to the rim, that was a different
There's no
story.
stopping him.
Yeah,
No matter who you are.
but he had a strong enough base where he wasn't just going to get bullied.
They got Charlie Villanueva they picked up in the draft. I don't remember the dude's name, but he reminded me of Charlie Villanueva.
Yeah. I don't know, but I firmly believe that he'll do better in Dallas.
You see the direction Dallas was trying to go with Grant Williams and Thibault?
Yeah.
They know defense was a problem. They
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
two great
Well-
and they want a rim protector.
well,
Then they'll be good.
If you look at Dallas's
They're two
offensive,
guys.
if you look at Dallas's offensive rating and their defensive rating, I think they were 1 point away from each other, which isn't good. You can't have like 125% offensive rating and 123 defensive. It just is.
500.
Listen, I'm not a math genius, but I could tell you that that's not going to work. And that's what they're shooting for. They're shooting for defense. I'm sure they'll make more moves as the time goes on.
Paul, he's a defensive guy, Paul.
Who's that?
That's probably Paul. This dude
Yeah.
Paul saying coming to Dallas.
trying to shoot the ball.
But Grant Williams ain't an offensive guy looking to
No.
shoot.
He's going to be like the fourth option, but he's going to score all those points off of offense rebounds.
Yeah, he'll hit open threes too. Just don't talk to him when he goes to the foul line and there's no time left. And he can't guarantee that he's going to make both free throws. But like I said, I think that he'll do a lot better because I firmly believe that he was in the doghouse in Boston.
and he's in Virginia.
And listen, coming out of college, he was
at Tennessee.
At Tennessee,
Yeah,
he was.
I'm sorry, what did I say? I said
Virginia.
Yeah,
I
no,
was gonna
coming
say
out of
now.
Tennessee, he
I'm
was
sorry.
he was
He
the
killed some of the bigger names
Yeah.
in that conference.
Yeah.
He was obviously
he was the
outplayed
player
them
of the
all.
year.
Yep.
He was the player of the year.
I'm sorry.
But I think a change of scenery with a different coach and listen, he's gonna get a lot of easy looks because you got Kyrie and you got Luka, so everybody's eyes are gonna be off of him. You slip, a lot of
And
bunnies.
that's why he's saying he thinks he's going to shoot more. It's only a 4-point swing. He'll get 2 more made shots a game because opportunity will present itself more often. They're not going to run plays for him. He's a hustle guy.
Yeah, no.
He'll take what you give him.
No.
And
There's not going to be anybody that they're going to run plays except for those two guys. I mean, their offensive. What did they play, like 20 games together or something
That's
like
it.
that?
If that.
that's all.
Paul, how many games did they play together? I know they had a losing record. It was like 8-12 or something like that.
Yeah. That's
Um,
exactly what it was.
But I mean, you've got all the offense you need. You just need to add defense, and you need to plug in the pieces around those two guys to help them for support reasons. They played 26 together, but it just turned, and the 26 wasn't even a healthy 26 because Luka had a thigh strain, a calf or a thigh strain or something like that, and Kyrie had plantar fasciitis, or something like that.
They were on the same team for 26 games, but they only played
I think,
together
yeah.
for 20 because
Yeah.
they were 8-12 when they played together.
Yeah. But the offensive rating was off the charts when they played. It's just that the defensive rating was also off the chart in the wrong direction.
Mm.
So here we are. We're at that point where they're going to add some defensive help. And the thing with Thibault, I thought he was going to be a great player, but his 3-point shooting just wasn't
Offense
there.
in general. He's
Yeah.
not. His strength is not to be an offensive player.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll they're gonna count on him to be a stopper, a 3-and-D guy. And whatever he can do in between, thank you. You've got the firepower in Kyrie and Luca. So I wouldn't even worry about that. I'd be more worried about Kyrie during the course of the year.
Taking his birthday off.
About it, about if he's going to play or if he's gonna have Sage lit and be like, yeah, it's I'm getting this vibe that something's gonna happen and I don't know. I'd be more worried about that. Um, yeah, definitely defense is what they need to focus on. Defense and depth, D&D. Um, this is what they need.
They're working on it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because when you listen, they were let's face it, let's call it for what it is. They tanked. They didn't play those guys the last 3 games or last 4 games. They tanked purposely.
And they got in trouble for it, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
Well,
I
they
thought
drew
they got-
attention to it. I know.
They drew
that.
attention.
I thought they got fined for it.
No, because as long as you put down an injury, guess what? You're good. It drew attention to it. They were talking about it, and as a result, they came up with the new rule this year that you have to play X amount of games to be on, to be considered, for the All Star game for one, and for a Supermax, for any max deal, I should say, to deter the tanking. Um, but it's one of those things where Phoenix went through the same thing, right? The only difference between Phoenix and Dallas was a little more talent. All right. But you can't trade guys in less than 30 games and deplete your team, giving up key assets and then ask them to make a finals run. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Phoenix went through it. Dallas went through
No adjustment period, no depth.
The only difference with Dallas was they were on the fringe of not making a playoffs. Phoenix was in a much better position. They were in the 3-4 spot. They were in the 3 spot where Dallas was sitting at the 10-11 spot, and it was obviously a lot harder to come back. But Phoenix ultimately they had the same demise. Once they got deep in the play, there was no bench. They traded for a guy and they gave away too many assets, and boom, now you can see what was in front of you and you can fix it in the offseason.
Phoenix has addressed that problem so far
Yeah,
this year. They've
well.
added Eric Gordon and I forgot what other free agent, but they've added 2 members.
What other free agent? They are one of the biggest free agents in the free agent pool.
The guy from
Washington.
yeah.
Bradley
Oh,
Beal.
no. I meant after the big 3.
Oh,
After the big 3, they added Eric Gordon, who's a proven veteran for the league minimum, and somebody else went over there for short money. And I was like, well, that gives them 2 more rotational players because their biggest problem is going to be depth. They got the big 3. They got Ayton still. Doesn't look like they're going to trade Ayton. They're going to probably try 1 year with him.
So, Paul, when you say Dallas was in the 6th spot, you do realize that 6 through 10 was only separated by 2, maybe 3 games at the most. That bottom tier in the West was brutal.
Minnesota.
Yeah, it was brutal. There was only maybe 2 games that literally separated them.
Lakers.
It was tough. It was brutal.
Golden State.
There was a lot of teams at that bottom that were like, oh my God, first round playoff games were like, you were expecting to see in the second and third round, and right off the rip, you see them in the first
Yeah,
round.
because who was the number 1 seed in the West?
Denver.
Denver, yeah. Denver was
Denver
number
played
1.
Minnesota.
Denver was one throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
They held the number 1 spot for pretty much.
I was
the
just
whole
trying
year.
to think how balanced that was. Like that first round was not easy.
Denver drew Minnesota.
Denver, Minnesota, and then number 2 was Sacramento.
Was Was it they 2 or
2 or 3.
No, because Sacramento, I think, was 3-6 against Golden
Yeah,
State.
they played Golden State at 3-6.
Oh, so was it Memphis that was number
Yeah,
2?
Memphis was number 2.
Memphis was number 2. Okay. Yeah, no, the West,
And they lost to the Lakers.
the West was wild. It was
Mhm.
the West was wild, man.
Wow.
It was truly wild. Teams that you thought that should have been up, in the upper echelon of, yeah, it was crazy. Lakers,
Nobody expected Denver to be number 1 or Memphis number 2.
no, I
Well,
you-
we never knew what to expect when Denver finally stayed healthy.
yeah. Well, listen,
World champs.
yeah, world champs. But Bruce Brown did leave, regardless of
Him
what the
and
coach
somebody else left.
regardless of what the coach said when he was drunk.
Uh-huh.
He ain't going nowhere. No, he went. He left.
No pay.
We didn't have 2 years, 40 million or whatever it was.
Yeah. You want to keep everybody together, but something, winning breeds vultures. Everybody wants to pull from the team. So, and this is where they're at. This is where they're at now. Will they, forecast for Denver? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The teams are loading up, and they lost some depth.
Well, they developed some too because that kid Brown that came from Kansas,
Ow.
he's going to step into Bruce Brown's role as the energizer,
Defensively,
and for a
though.
lot less
Defensively,
money.
though, I don't know.
I don't know.
No, offensively, he is probably going to be a little better,
He won't need the ball to be effective.
but
High
defensively,
energy.
But defensively,
I just think he'll be that Spock.
we'll see. So tell us, Steve, how do you think Chet Holmgren is going to do this year? He did put on 10 pounds.
And he has been playing very well in summer
Put on
league.
14.
I'm just going to say time will tell.
He put on 14
Will he lead the?
He's
will
had
he
double
lead the
doubles
leagues?
every single game.
Will he lead the leagues in block this year?
Yep. And Brian's going to say he doesn't bet, but we'll get him on some push-ups or something. He'll have better numbers across the board than Victor Wembanyama.
Whoa.
Because you want to talk about skinny, they're the
Whoa.
same.
But
Victor's even lighter than him.
he's
But
gonna be the number
Victor
one.
Victor
He's gonna be
is
the number one
way
option.
more skilled than he
No,
is.
they have the same skill set.
What?
They have the same skill set.
What?
What does he do better than Chet?
He handles the ball way better than him.
No, he handles the ball the same as him.
No,
You
no.
haven't seen Chet Holmgren play enough.
What have you been watching?
Go look at how many assists he averaged.
What are you watching?
Okay. You
So-
were going to work too early at
so
5 in
Chet-
the morning
so-
to watch
so
Chet play.
Chet Holmgren does like these little lazy crossovers that that fives can't handle.
Them. YouTube them.
But Wembanyama does crisp crossovers. I don't know who you're watching, but
All right.
can anyone help me out there?
When
do you think-
Paul's going to jump
No,
in,
no,
of
no.
course.
Can anyone help me out there? What is the difference between Chet Holmgren and Wembanyama? His skill set is way better. He's way better
So
way
you
better off
think
the
he'll
dribble.
have better numbers than Chet?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
I'm
I
going to
do.
take you up on that when that season starts.
not
If
for
they
no- not for
seeing that
nothing.
he's playing like he looks like he's healthy. I mean,
He
he's
does,
had
he does look good for the couple of summer league games.
I can't wait till they play against each other.
He does look good.
well tomorrow. Wemby's first game against Scoot Henderson. That's going to be nice.
That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, but they're not going to be playing each other.
No, but just to get to see those two because we haven't seen either one yet.
Yeah. Well,
Wemby's already sat out the first 2 games.
well, yeah, you got to protect your. You can't just.
That's the number one guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the number one guys played in others. They usually start off playing and shut them down early.
Yeah, either or. Start
Yeah.
them early and shut them down, or start late and, shut
Right.
them down. I don't know. I think their skill set is totally different. I think Wembanyama he's athletically way better.
He's more fluid.
He's more fluid.
More
He's
fluid.
listen. Even if you watch his crossovers look like a regular crossover. I just don't see the comparison with him and Holmgren.
There's a really good comparison.
Whatever his name
One
is.
Chet
7'4",
Holmgren.
and the other one's 7'3", something like that.
No, they're both 7'3", pretty much. But I think if you go and give him a look on YouTube, you will appreciate his ball handling. I don't think you guys have watched him enough to appreciate it. There's no reason for you to like just keep pumping him up. Like I've watched this guy play a lot. I guarantee I've watched him play more than both of you combined.
And that's
why I'm so
and,
confident.
and that's why you gave him the
I gave him Rookie of the Year
you-
last year if he didn't get hurt. But I couldn't prove myself because injuries trump everything.
he
If he stays healthy,
You know he's not going to be the number one option on that team still.
He
right?
doesn't
not
have
even
to be.
close. Not even close.
you don't think Wemby's going to be the number one option in San Antonio, right?
I think he
I
might
think
be.
they're going to bring him along slowly. They don't want to put too much pressure on him. But they both have similar builds. They're going to have similar problems physically, like getting pushed around and getting used to the physicalness of the league. But they both have the ability to handle the ball and be a little bit more elusive than your typical 7-3 guy. I look at Chet as being in build similar to a Kevin Durant. He doesn't play down low. Everybody thinks because he's 7'3", Wemby's not going to play down low either.
No.
He's going to be help defense. But on offense, he can shoot the ball from the outside enough to be an outside threat. He can put the ball on the ground to drive. They both can. So
Yeah, I just think that Wemby is as Derek said, he's more fluid.
we've had
his
even less
handle,
chances to see Wemby play.
his handle. Well, I seen enough when he came to the United States for that week. I seen enough just in the way of how how he plays, how he moves. I seen your guy play in college, and it was always typically the same thing with him. It was
almost averaging a triple-double every single game.
almost fouling out, getting into a lot of foul trouble because ultimately
He only got foul trouble in the tournament.
when you face better talent.
Well, you're going to get in foul trouble once in a while. That particular game, he did it. But look to see how many times he fouled out during the course of the year.
Well, that's my
You know,
point. Is
that
once
game,
you play against better talent,
They
they're going to make
attacked him
smarter decisions.
because he was the big decision. He was the big difference maker on the floor. They got him out of the game.
When you play against better talent, the
They
better
had him,
talent,
Drew, Timmy, they had talent.
the
on
better
that team.
the better talent will make better decisions.
Well, it's going to be interesting when October comes around, and
So you
we'll be
guys-
able to go week by week on the stats.
So you guys making a bet?
You guys are so down on him. I'm so confident
No.
that
So you guys making a bet?
I will, Brian.
on who finishes higher in the rookie of the year? Because
Well,
He
no,
can-
stats.
he's going to be a rookie again this year. Considered a rookie.
If
He's
they
been
don't
playing.
get hurt, I'll say that Chet Holmgren will have a better overall year, and we can just go points, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage. We can just look at the stats and whoever wins the most categories. 5 categories of offense, field goal percentage. Oh, and then you can have blocks on there for defense. You can have 4 on offense and blocks on defense.
Steals. You got to go steal.
Well,
You gotta throw
doesn't make
They're
a
steals.
not in a
difference.
steal position,
all around.
But they're both going to get blocks.
Hakeem
all
Olajuwon
around.
got steals.
Yeah,
the
playing the
league.
lane, help defense.
Yeah. So you got to put. You're gonna put
Still my
blocks,
number
you
one
gotta
pick if
throw-
I'm starting a franchise team
Who?
at center.
Olajuwon?
Yeah.
Oh, all day long.
Yeah, because people underestimate him too. Grossly underrated, but people always talk about the nothing to take nothing away from Chamberlain and Will and Russell and all them guys. But for offense and defense, what they brought to the table, Kareem, Moses Malone, another underrated guy.
Yeah, what we shall see. I did see a picture of your guy. He did put on 10 pounds. But I don't think that he's going to.
I think the more that you see of him, the more you become a believer. His stats are going to be there every night,
The only believer.
and they got so much talent
the
on
only
that team.
believer right now is you, bro.
Because I would believe you guys haven't seen enough of Wemby
Maybe.
or enough of Holmgren.
Maybe.
I think they're very similar. I haven't seen Wemby, so it's hard to say, but I have seen Holmgren. And I just think from the highlights we've all seen of Wemby, very similar talent. Wemby might cross over better, but Chet can do that too. Maybe not to the level of Wemby, but Chet is a top. I guarantee he'll have more block shots than Wemby this year. Guarantee it.
we shall see.
That's one category.
Yeah. That's
No,
okay.
but
we shall
Ryan
see.
said, will he lead the league in blocks? And he'll be up there. He'll have more than Wemby.
He said that last year as a
Well,
rookie.
yeah, he would have if he stayed healthy.
I don't think so. I don't think
It's
so.
easy to say when you can't prove it.
Yeah. Well, I just think because of the fact that he's still in a learning curve. I think it's going to take him a few years to get to the point to where he's going to be the leading shot blocker.
What did he get hurt with? What did he get hurt?
He came down
ankle.
on LeBron's foot in a summer league game,
Ankle.
and the top of his foot
broke his.
plantar
yeah.
fasciitis.
No, he broke his foot.
Yeah,
Um,
it was after summer league. That's what sucked. Like he was playing in a summer league game.
Yeah.
and he wanted to play against LeBron.
I think it's going to take him maybe a year or two before he gets to the point of shot blocking. You don't find many rookies that come in and lead the league in shots. I'll go on the record as saying that. Even with Wembyana, I just think that the NBA, playing at that top level, teams, guys know how to use their body. They know how to. They're used to the length and the size of these guys.
But they're going to do it from a help defense point of view.
It's no different.
Hardly anybody's in the paint to wait on blocks at the rim anymore.
It's no different. You'll see a lot of you'll see a lot of 6'2" guys that'll just quick them to the rim. Same hand, same layup. It's just one of those things. I'm not gonna. For me, I don't think either one of those guys will lead the league in blocks. Will they be amongst the league leaders in that category or next to it? Yeah, I think this is a learning curve. I think both of them, because they're both. I do agree with you on their physical stature. I think because of their size, that it's going to take a while for them to.
And neither one's a center. Just because they're 7'3", people want to make them a center and talk about their physicality. They're going to play small forward, maybe a little power forward, but they're not playing center.
Yeah, no, I do see them being put at that position solely for, unless you're playing, somebody in the way of, that's just going to sit on the 3-point line. But when you play a Joel Embiid, you're going to have to play him strictly because you have the length.
Joe wants to stand out there on 3-point line, so
yeah, no,
he won't be bullying him.
Joe will put the ball down. He'll put the ball down. He'll turn around. He'll do. Oh yeah. He's gonna.
So I got an interesting question I want to pose to both you guys. We always clown AD about being a great talent and not being available, right? Has Mike Trout become the AD of baseball?
No, he's always hurt.
3-4 years in a row, he was the best player, and he hasn't played in 3-4 years. Yeah. And he's hurt again now. Just had surgery, 4 to 8 weeks. Every year, this guy gets hurt. He's one of the best players in baseball, but he can't stay healthy. And I'm starting to wonder, is he baseball's version of AD?
Yeah, I'd have to go.
All that muscle he put on and everything like that, you would think he'd be able to fend off injury. I just hate seeing talent of that magnitude constantly hurt. What is he doing that he's constantly hurt?
He's always hurt.
It's just one of those things. I mean, it's just like the guys over in New York. They always go on the IR a couple times a year. It's one of those things. Is Judge off the IR yet?
No, Judge. They don't know when he's coming. Stanton's back.
He's not even hitting live pitching yet. He's hitting off a tee right now.
They're saying the end of July, the earliest.
Yeah, he's hitting off a tee. He's not even seeing live pitching.
And it's something with his foot, right? Like he can't plant his foot. He can't get no strength behind. No weight bearing on his foot or ankle or something.
Yeah, it's a shame. Guys always seem to break down every year at some point.
And they get all this money. Like we know Trout's contract.
Yeah.
Which brings me to another point me and Derek were talking about earlier. Ohtani is considered a 1,400 to 1 long shot odds to win MVP this year.
He keeps it up. He's gonna.
This is his last year of his contract. What type of money can we predict? If you're a GM of another team, what type of money are you willing to invest to get somebody like Ohtani, who's
getting 500 to 600 million?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. 500 on the low end.
Right.
And I think it'll be just 10 years because we were talking. We can't go more than 10 years because people get locked in the bad contracts long term.
950 games lost to injury.
Yeah, that's every year for the Yankees, and that's not to try to hate them. Thibault did. How'd he sign with them? Did they up the contract from 11 years, 33 million? I mean, 11.
They would have had to match the. No, because
3 years, 33 million.
I thought that
Portland matched it.
Portland, so they offered.
They had to offer more.
Yeah.
And Portland must have said we're not going to match.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just one of those things where size and muscle doesn't make a difference.
It's a match. It's not a science. A match.
Doesn't make a difference. Website's up. Um, so yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk. We'll dibble dabble with some NFL. All right. So make sure you keep it locked right here to WMB1 Radio, straight to the point sports.
Reliable Bus Lines Incorporated has been a leader in the school bus industry for over 40 years. Founded in 1980, Reliable Bus Lines Incorporated has provided the South Coast and surrounding areas of the Commonwealth transportation services ranging from private to contracted school bus and van services for corporate transportation. Specializing in school bus transportation, Reliable Bus Lines cares about your precious cargo. Our drivers are trained and certified and understand the importance of being on time and getting students to and from school safely. A staple in the greater New Bedford region, Reliable Bus Lines Incorporated is a women and minority owned company. Our staff prides itself on being diverse, professional, and helpful. Call now to book your next outing, 508-992-0342. So come and take a ride with Reliable Bus, the bus you can trust. And don't forget to tell them that WNB1 Radio sent you.
Have you made that New Year's resolution to get into shape and you still haven't followed through with it? Then you need to join KO Gym.
The champ is here! The champ is here! The champ is here!
KO Gym is located at 50 Conduit Street in the north end of New Bedford, within the historic mills in a 5,000 square foot space, within plenty of room to train for social distancing, and the facility has unlimited parking outside. KO Gym offers exclusive training in Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, grappling, jiu-jitsu, as well as strength and conditioning programs. So if you're looking to train to get into shape to train for self-defense, or if you're looking to train to compete professionally, KO Gym has experienced professional staff to help you obtain your goal. They also offer one-on-one personal training as well as group classes to satisfy everyone's needs. So go ahead and let KO Gym help you make that change for a healthy body and a healthy mind. And also tell them that WMB1 Radio made the referral for you. Ah, yes, spring is in the air, and if you're looking to get cleaning done the right way, then Newbie Cleaning is a cleaning service for you. Newbie Cleaning is a licensed, insured, bonded, and a locally owned residential and commercial cleaning business which has over 15 years experience providing quality cleaning services in all of Bristol County. Did we mention that they provide services for homes, schools, churches, medical facilities, office buildings, restaurants, post-construction cleanups, and after-party cleanups? Newbie Cleaning has customized packages that tailor to deep cleaning, whether you're moving into a new home, moving out of an old home, or you simply want that vacation home clean. Newbie Cleaning is flexible in booking appointments weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or if you just want a one-time clean. Newbie Cleaning takes pride in the level of service in which they provide, so they have a higher level of cleaning experience that they can add to a business to ensure that they are up to code and compliant with cleaning regulations. You can rest assured that once they clean a service location, all products and equipments are used solely for that location only. No mop or no rag is used and transferred to another location where germs can be spread. They pride themselves on quality service, and they do the same with their employees by offering competitive wages as well as flexible schedules. Remember, cleaning service is the perfect gift for realtors looking for closing gifts or for showing your appreciation by helping someone take a break. No job is too big or too small for Newbie Cleaning Services. So give them a call at 508-974-4815 or visit their website at www.newbie-cleaning.com. And be sure to mention that WMB1 Radio sent you.
If you're facing criminal charges or were involved in an accident resulting in a personal injury, call John B. Seed today. As a former prosecutor turned defense attorney, John Seed has the experience to represent you in your case. With years of training and courtroom experience in the areas of criminal law and DUI law, John Seed can help you. Call today. Responsive results. Attorney John B. Seed. Schedule a no obligation consultation today online at johnseedlaw.com.
This hour of WMB1 Radio is sponsored in part by Port Royal Lounge and Cigar Bar, which is located at 26 South Water Street in New Bedford, Mass. Port Royal is conveniently located just a short walk from the Island Ferries in historic downtown New Bedford. Port Royal is the newest addition to the city's electric bar, restaurant, and nightlife scene, where they specialize in serving top-shelf vodkas, whiskeys, tequilas, wines, rums, as well as a plentiful variety of bottled beer, craft beer, and signature cocktails. Port Royal also offers a wide variety of today's best-selling premium cigars for a discerning clientele. Some of the cigars in stock include Acid by Drew Estate, Monte Cristo, Macunda, Cohiba, Rocky Patel, Romeo and Julieta, My Father's, and Nub. So go ahead and head on down to Port Royal and enjoy an adult beverage along with a cigar. And be sure to tell them that WNB1 Radio sent you.
Is your house in need of a good paint job?
We have the perfect solution for you. Yes, we can house paint. Yes, we can painting paints everything from interior to exterior projects.
From dining room, living room, pantries to cellars, or if you're in need of a total makeover where the outside of your home needs a new paint job, then Yes We Can House Painting is the perfect painting service for you. With 15 years of experience, Yes We Can House Painting will give you a professional makeover that will have your neighbors glowing with envy.
Call Yes We Can at 774-510-4840 or email them at yeswecanpainting@gmail.com. And also tell them that your friends here at WMB1 Radio sent you. Welcome back to WMB1 Radio and Straight to the Point Sports, where we're here on this very muggy and hot Thursday night. I can honestly say that now it feels like we live in New England.
Yeah.
You know, we typically go, 70 to 90 at the at the flick of a switch. There's no warning. It's like, last week we were in the 70s, and then 3 days
Out of damn rain.
90s. Yeah, the rain. It seemed like the rain brought the humidity in, and like I said, we went from 70 to 90. We should be used to it by now. If you're a true New Englander, then you experience this weather. We know it. All right, fellas, to top it out, we've got a little over 11 minutes left. NFL.
What about it?
It seems as if the only players that are left in the free agent pool are running backs.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And DeAndre.
And DeAndre, yeah.
It's like nobody wants to pay them.
I think they're just waiting it out. They got no rush. None of them veterans want to be in training camp early. They're going to wait for the best offer and let the chips fall where they fall.
Yeah. We have I just seen the update. 64 days before the first official game takes place.
Who got the first game?
It should be the champs on Thursday night.
Yeah. Who they playing? Detroit. Bang.
They play Detroit. Oh, you're gonna get smacked up.
They're crazy.
Oh, man, you're gonna get smacked up.
0-1 already.
I feel
Talking
sorry.
about the Vikings,
I
Steve.
feel bad for you.
I know.
I really do.
Why?
All right. Oh, we'll see.
Hope none of your players gamble on the game.
Oh shit.
I always the champions playing the champs on opening night is like the worst because it's usually when they get their flag.
They get their
Didn't
ring.
they always do
Ceremony.
like a rematch of one of the
No, they used
NFC
to.
or
No, they
AFC
used to. They
champions?
stopped
They used
doing
to.
it. They stopped doing it. but I feel bad for the team that plays them because you got to sit around and it's an extended wait,
Yeah.
and you got to watch them raise the banner, and, drop the banner and all that stuff,
Oh, Chiefs versus the
and then
Kings.
and then and then
You better watch your mouth over there.
oh man, it's not going to be good. Not going to be good, Derek.
You'll see. Well, you wait and see, bro.
I know. I'll see. I'll
You
see.
wait and see.
All right.
Ain't nobody here scared of no Chiefs.
You're not supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Nobody's scared
what
of
did
the
Mike
Chiefs.
Tyson say? Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
That's right.
Yeah? Okay.
I'm gonna punch the Chiefs in the mouth.
All right.
Bow.
Yeah, and they're gonna club you over the head.
No, they ain't. They ain't gonna come out after you punch them in the mouth.
You're gonna be at least.
That game's in Kansas City, I believe.
Yeah, it's open tonight.
Yeah,
You're gonna be at least a 10-point underdog.
it's all right.
At least
45-35.
We'll win by 3.
I believe you'll be able to put some points up on the board, but will you be able to stop them from putting points on the board?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right.
Now double Kelsey. Make somebody else beat us.
Yeah, that something. Teams have been trying to figure that out for a long time, and it yet really hasn't worked yet. So good luck with that.
And we did a little basketball comparison. You know what comparison I'm looking at following for football this year? Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson.
Why?
Because I think Lamar's got the weapons. If he stays healthy, I really think he's going to have his best year yet. And a lot of people are down on him because he constantly gets hurt too. But if Rashad Bateman stays healthy and Odell Beckham stays healthy, and they drafted the rookie there from Boston College, and they got Mark Andrews already, they got a solid running game. Their defense is their defense. And Jalen Hurts has everybody back. I don't know about his running back situation because Miles Sanders left. Who did they pick up somebody in free agency?
Yeah, they picked up the bum from Detroit.
Williams?
Nah, the other one, the one that's always hurt.
Oh, Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to have all the Georgia people over there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when he's healthy, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But that's just it. You got to
You
stay
said
healthy.
the magic words.
But
If.
I just think Hurts and Lamar Jackson are very similar. And remember, there was that big controversy about the contracts. Lamar wanted more money than Hurts. And I want to see them both stay healthy, and I want to see what they both can do.
But Hurts has stayed healthy.
Well, he only started for a year and a half, so
Yeah, so
Lamar's going in his like 6th, 7th year.
But Lamar's probably younger still, too.
yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out. I know this question has been tossed out a lot on some of the talk shows and so forth and so on. But who do you think faces the most pressure this season? The player. Who do you think faces the most pressure?
Rodgers.
The kid from
I don't think. See, Rodgers,
Because they expect him to come in
well, no,
and
no,
be
no,
the
no,
savior.
no. But that's only in New York. So the people on the outside, the people like me,
It's tough, that pressure in New York.
like me in New York, yes. But people outside of New York, New Jersey, or whatever, however you want to look at it,
the kid from Cleveland.
I don't see it that way.
Watson?
I-
They live up for all that money?
I really don't see it. Not
Well,
him either,
he's got a
because he
full
doesn't
training
have
camp this year.
he doesn't have the team. He didn't have the team really to go to match his money.
So you think the pressure is on Mahomes?
No,
No, Rodgers making $50 million.
I don't think the pressure's on either one of them. I'm gonna say a lot of pressure is on a quarterback in Buffalo. He was supposed to be the guy last year. They anointed him
Mr. Allen?
MVP, said he was going to win a Super Bowl. If he is to fall short again, I think.
Think they blow it up?
Well,
No, well, you can't blow it up. I just think that you just need to hope for the best. I mean,
they got three big glaring needs over there. That's not his fault.
Yeah.
He's doing what he can do, but that number 2 receiver hasn't been consistent. The running game hasn't been consistent.
most
and the defense damn sure ain't been
most
consistent.
They got
importantly-
their safety coming back. though.
Yeah, one safety. They need somebody on every level of defense.
That one
listen,
safety's big, though.
most importantly, his number one wide receiver isn't happy.
Yes, but that's not his fault either. They said there's no problem with them too. They were mad because the offensive coordinator wasn't game planning Diggs into the system as much as he
So
wanted.
so do you remember the 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 ultimate picture at the end of the game?
Sideline
The sideline. Like this,
tantrum.
like this, bro.
Yeah, he's
Throw
probably
me the
like,
ball.
don't listen to the OC. Throw me the
Throw
ball.
me the ball. Yeah. So you still listen to things, and of course they're gonna say the right things. They're gonna say that there's no issue. I get that. But I still see a level of, you know, them not totally being together. And that could be a problem. Because if things go south early, you know, wide receivers are divas. We know this. We know this, right? Um, their position hasn't depreciated. They still get paid.
Yeah.
They still get paid.
It's a throwing game now.
That's right. They still get paid. And if they get out the box slow, then I think there might be a problem. And like I said, I think that he is facing the most pressure.
Well, they drafted one of the best receiving tight ends in football, which will help because that'll give them another two option. Who's the guy that they had that was doing so well in the playoffs, but he's just big catches? He doesn't catch a lot, but the number 2 receiver that was like that had 3 touchdowns in the playoff
He had
game.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
he led the
doesn't do
league,
it consistently.
team. Yeah, well, you know something? Listen, if
They anointed him the number 2 and he didn't come through.
if you see that in a small snapshot, then you should be giving him more opportunities. I mean,
Think he was
if
unknown.
if I know that I've got somebody that's doing it, you know, that's making big plays, you know, I'm gonna game plan for them
He
more
killed the Chiefs.
to give them more option. But for me, it's him. I think he's facing the most pressure. I don't. The reason why I don't think.
What about Tua?
I see Tua. I'm kind of split because
If he gets hurt
he's
again,
he's one hit away from being gone.
yeah, but he could get the moniker of a Lamar Jackson or something, a great talent. But if he can't stay on the field,
I don't know. I just see I
think he's
don't
on fire.
I don't know. I don't
that
I don't
whole
get that.
division's got question marks at
Well, the
at
thing is,
quarterback.
the thing is, right? For me, the reason why I don't think that New York is under a lot of pressure is because they're not there yet. They weren't there last year. Everybody talked about them and said how good they could
Well,
be,
their running back stayed healthy.
how good they could be. That was the same team that lost to the Patriots twice last year, who was at the bottom of the division. So I'm not going to sit there and say, okay, just because they get a quarterback, it takes some time. Look at the same quarterback with these rookie guys that he had. It took them 3/4 of the season to catch on, to do what he likes. And he's a diva. He expects you to be somewhere and that's it.
Well,
And
he
even
missed a lot of training
and,
camp.
and even if he does something wrong, he's known to make it that you did something
Yep,
wrong.
yep.
So that's just the type of mentality that he has. And I don't know. I don't expect much of them really, because of the fact that number one, they play in a tough division. Number two, they play in a tough conference.
Well, remember, they're going to get Brees Hall back at some point. And those rookies were all outstanding last year. Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, and they had somebody on defense. They're also going to get back.
Sauce Gardner.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They all played great. Another year with them. And on offense, they're getting back. Remember, Vera Tucker got hurt for the year. And they had Lakeland Tomlinson or whoever it was, the other big offensive lineman they invested so much money in. They were both out for significant parts of the time. If they stay healthy and they get Brees Hall back, Aaron Rodgers is going to get protected. He's going to have a running game. He's going to have some people he can throw the ball to.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
I just think there's no easy games in that division.
All right, so I'm gonna give you right off the rip their schedule. They've got a killer schedule.
Jets.
The Jets right off the rip. Why does that? Oh, I'm sorry, I
I
get the
don't
wrong
think they
year.
have Hall till like week 3 or something.
Oh, so then they'll have them for the Cowboys because they play the Cowboys week 3, I believe. All right. Why am I not getting this schedule? Let's look at this schedule. Oh, come on, come on. I don't want to buy anything. I don't want to purchase anything. All right. Um, so their first 3 games, listen to this. Right out week 1 against the Bills. Week
We just
2,
talked about the Bills.
week 2 at Cowboys. Week 3 against the Patriots. Week 4 against KC.
3 out of those 4 are winnable. Like there's no KC's the only definite loss I see there.
Well,
Definite loss.
all right.
They have a chance to
So
beat
let's
any
put it
one of
this way.
those
All
other
right.
3.
So let's put it this way. They're playing 3 out of the 4 playoff teams.
On the road or
What they're at Dallas on the road, home against Buffalo, home against KC. All right. Then week 5 is at Denver. We know Mile High is always tricky.
And I think Russell Wilson.
Week-
You don't know what Denver
bounce
team
back.
you're gonna
Week
get. So
6 against Philadelphia. So their first 4 out of 6 games are against playoff teams.
They gotta go.
This
500.
is what I'm talking about. If they stumble out the gate, it could be tough to recuperate, to recover because that division is going to be good.
They have to definitely beat New England, and they got to either beat Buffalo or
they
Dallas.
gotta split. They gotta
They
split.
got to
with
split
Buffalo.
those 2 games. Yeah,
It's going to be
they got to be
tough.
3-3 after
It's-
6.
So you got to look at it from the point of view from a divisional perspective because you want to take care of the division before you could take care of the conference. But if you lose to Buffalo, you're 1 game behind in the conference. And then, like I said, the Patriots, who beat them twice last year, swept them. All right, who was the last place team. 4 out of the first 6 are against playoff teams. That's a brutal schedule, right out the rip.
Aaron
right off the rip.
Rodgers has had that type of schedule before. He won't be nervous.
We
Nah,
didn't
it's
say
not- it's not
him.
about- it's not about
We
being
didn't say
nervous.
him.
But I think he'll keep them in the. He'll keep them close enough to win, if not win.
I don't know. For me, I don't even know if he's going to be able to make it a full season.
No, that's the question.
Well, we're talking about the first 6.
Does he still have it?
Yeah.
'Cause
What's his attitude?
Not,
I think he wants to prove the doubt is wrong.
well,
whether to prove him wrong or not, yeah, his body's beat up.
he has the listen. He
But he's
has
still an accurate passer.
he has the chance to show himself. Are we going to see that magic word? Relax, relax.
There'll be a bunch in New York. They don't got much patience.
Patience. There is no patience.
Exactly.
I got no patience because I hate waiting. Right. And it's going to be quick. And I don't care how many MVPs he's won. I don't care how many MVPs he's won.
That's the past.
Exactly. You're going to New York and you're going to the media capital of the world. They don't care what you did when you had cheese heads on you and what you did and how whose daddy is he?
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
They don't care about what you did against the Bears. They want to see you beat New England. They want to see you beat Buffalo. They want to see you beat Miami. That's what they want.
Got to split with him.
You know, and are they ready to take that league? I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to say. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll wait and we'll see. 64 days until we see some live football. So as we went to commercial, we got some good news. Our website just dropped. All right, there it is, up. It's up and running, up and live,
Fully functional.
and fully functional.
right.
WMB1.com.
Doing it big over
So they
there.
can
Right.
watch all our shows live now, right?
Well, we have to
Uncensored?
get to the point where we load them. They watch our shows right now uncensored.
Well, I'm saying like if there's music playing in the background or anything.
Well, yeah.
Like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that way on the DJs and all that stuff. So now you have the ability to go to the website. You can catch up on all things related to WNB1. It's the website is WNB1.com. All right, and you also now have the ability to purchase tickets for all of our events on our website.
We don't have to
So
pay for somebody to sell tickets for us.
no, there's no second party. So
$3 on the event, right?
so now, for the event that we're having next week, July 14th, at the Harbor
A
Hotel,
lot of buzz already.
you can go directly to the website and buy the tickets
Or see us.
or
Whatever
see
you
us.
prefer.
Yeah, we do have physical tickets, but we also have the ability to sell the tickets online, which is huge. It's a big come up. The website just dropped, WMB1.com. Go to it, check
Big.
it out. Check out.
Learn more about our new show. What's that new show we got now?
Check.
Comes on early.
So I don't know, some guys,
Somebody in the morning.
some guys in the morning
The
yelling.
The bag in the morning. What's the bag?
Somebody's
Oh, B-Mag in the morning.
somebody's yelling in the morning. Wake up, wake up. Oh, you want a preview? I'll give you a preview. I'll give you a preview of how
I'll
it sounds.
catch you on the second half of that show.
Right. Yeah, you're lazy. You don't want to get up in the morning, huh? You don't want to get up in the morning with me. That's pretty good.
You don't know what it's like to stress like a Lions fan all night if you're going to win this year.
Yeah,
It's the Wake Up Show on WMB1 Radio. It's Mags in the morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m.
all right, 3 hours.
We're waking up the secret city. There it is. The alarm goes off. You got to wake up. You got to wake up. You're waking up with me.
There's no snoozing.
No snoozing there. That's an old school alarm.
Yeah,
That's an old school
hit it.
alarm. Yeah. Hit it, beat it up, throw it across the room. It still works.
the.
But yeah, needless to say, the website is up, fully functional. WMB1.com. That's how you can get into the inside. It's got all the profiles, everybody who's on the radio station and the shows that they do and all that
As soon
good
as
stuff.
we get off here, you go check it out.
Yep, you can do that.
It's real easy.
You can do that. And like I said, you can visit that site if you want to go and check us out next Friday at the Harbor Hotel,
Yes, sir.
where we'll be hosting a night out with WMB1 Radio and Friends, and we got special performances. Teddy Matthews, former American Idol,
Yeah.
along with Megan Sylvia, who will be singing alongside of Teddy Matthews, and we also have a comedian, Marlon Baker, who's going to be in the house.
If you've seen him, you know what Marlon's all about. He's going to be
Yes.
bringing those laughs.
Yes. And then afterwards, we're gonna have a little party. We're gonna have some R&B.
Mags in the evening.
Yeah, Mags in the evening, Mags in the morning, Mags in the evening. Yep. So yeah, you can go to the website WMB1.com and check us out. Check us out. With that being said, we're about to close out. Get on out of here. I feel like I lived here this morning, all today. Here in
It
the
was
morning,
nice to be
here in
able
the
to see everything
afternoon.
nice and clear this week. Margarita, Brian, Decon, no more making fun of me.
Hey, he's
got
got
two arms.
You got
I
two
got
arms
two- I got-
now.
My new glasses
People
finally
like-
came
And
in.
people like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about with two arms?
I was able
He's
to
got
read
two
the
arms on his
teleprompter.
glasses. Got two arms.
Derek's still just as ugly, but other than that, the world looks a lot better.
It's
I'm
not.
just happy you still got two arms.
It's not going to stop him from cramping though.
Let's see how long the arms last, though.
Yeah.
Through the summer.
Yeah. So we're about to sign out, and if you're not doing anything in the morning, you're not working. Get up with me. Get up with me and enjoy some music and all that good stuff. So I'll see you in the morning, 8:00 in the morning, and these guys, they'll see you next week, next Thursday. So we're out. We hope that everybody has a great evening, great weekend, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. We're out.
Hey,
If you're facing criminal charges or were involved in an accident resulting in a personal injury, call John B. Seed today. As a former prosecutor turned defense attorney, John Seed has the experience